This is probably my first attempt at a sonnet. I was down somewhere near Barmouth with Phil and Dave in this old caravan, and we went for a walk along the beach, and I turned the few words into a sonnet, which is 4, 4 and 6. Old Driftwood. We walked along the angle of the bay, 3 figures pressing footsteps in the sand. The sun was huge and orb-like in the sky. A strange and watery light lay on the land. And everywhere upon this golden shore lay relics from the belly of the sea. Odd blobs of splattered jellyfish we saw, a myriad of shells washed from the deep. Old driftwood, too, was scattered everywhere, each piece its contours rounded by the waves, and each lay faded, stripped and bare, a work of art in every way. Now as I touch the driftwood, drink the air, I sense the touch of God's almighty sway. Old Driftwood.
Learning to Love Nettles by me, Vivien Richardson. I've saved an hour every day, that's a fortnight every year. I'm shaded by the lilac that I didn't prune last year. I've dandelions everywhere and mint among the chives. Bees and ants and earwigs are busy with their lives. The butterflies are beautiful, flying here and there, since I made an overwintering place to show them that I care. A million creepy crawlies, once made homeless when I mowed, are happy in the lawn and in the veg patch I've not hoed. I'd rather leave the leaf fall, dead branches and rotting wood, where they happen to be naturally, where they can do most good. The holly's taken over, but when Christmas comes around, we'll undercut the garden centre, every branch a pound. Falling like confetti, we get apples by the score. If you want to make a crumble, just knock at our front door. I've time to make a daisy chain, time to contemplate. I'm discovering what slugs adore and planting what they hate. The children played at digging, and now we have a pond. Frogs moved in, and to my surprise, with them I formed a bond. I'm leaving on the seed heads, so the birds enjoy the feast, and abandoning all the chores that I enjoy the least. The moss is really pretty, the garden feels alive. I go out in all weathers and watch the wildlife thrive. My tools are safe inside the shed, clean and free from germs. I'll fetch them if I need them, but I'm prouder of my worms. The weeds have been rebranded to flowers that come free. I'm trusting Mother Nature and gardening naturally. I've become an eco-gardener, my tidy ways have gone. If a plant gets eaten, I choose a tougher one. Honey fungus happens. Slugs may have their way. I may have lost some neatness, but I've thistles, thorns, and hay. So I'm learning to love nettles, and there is no entrance fee to my lovely little haven, my wildlife sanctuary.
The story of Black Annis. Sired by a wolf, quite possibly, but of uncertain pedigree, one of many tales that are spoke of a cave down by that old gnarled oak. She'll steal a sheep or a child that strays, suck the blood, and the flesh she'll taste, hang the skins out there to dry, or wear them tied around her waist. The good die young, so they say, could be why she's still around today. Somewhere lurking down Danehill's way, patiently in wait she'll lay, So you'll still need to take great care. Don't go near Black Annis's lair. From her cave they say she clawed a tunnel right down to the Saw, and used this passage quick and clear to find the tomb of old King Lear. Not a pretty sight presented, sharp nails and skin of mackerel blue, down by the grove where the Druids last wented through till 1942. The good die young, or so they say, could be why she's still around today. Somewhere lurking down Danehill's way, patiently in wait she'll lay. So you'll still need to take great care. Don't go near Black Annis's lair. The cave filled in, the oak was felled, and carved into a fine oak bed. But cursed were those who slept therein, just like King Dick. Well, enough said. On that fateful day she was there to curse him. On that old Bow Bridge his spurs made a spark. Stripped of his pride on his return, on that day she played her part. The good die young, or so they say, could be why she's still around today. Somewhere lurking down Danehill's way, patiently in wait she'll lay. So you'll still need to take great care. Don't go near Black Annis's lair. Once it was thought a man had slain her. Screams were heard 5 miles away, but don't think you've heard the last of her. She'll bide her time and come back one day. She still lives on in Super Nintendo, Dungeons and Dragons, Discworld too, and in that women's Morris team. She's even got an entry in Who's Who. She could be hiding down your loo. But the good die young, or so they say, could be why she's still around today. Somewhere lurking down Danehill's way, patiently in wait she'll lay. So you'll still need to take great care. Don't go near Black Annis's lair. Perhaps she's gone vegan. You're going to need that CCTV on your allotment. She'll have your cabbages and your peas and your carrots. You think that's a cat over there, don't you? Black Annis.
Wow. Right, this is a poem called The Gulf. It's in a book called More Warbling from the Bum and Beyond. It must be about 20 years old, maybe more. The Gulf. I have watched the media now for days discuss the Gulf as though it were a piece of fiction, acted out upon a stage where no one died, no one was maimed, no one was blown to bits or ran deranged and screaming through those shattered streets, where innocence was somehow not caught up in all this holocaust, this constant stream of hatred raining from the skies, as if the shrapnel never ripped the flesh from bones, nor gouged the eyes, nor tore the limbs from babies and their mothers as they tried to hide beneath the blanket bombing from the skies. It was as if we merely pushed a coin into a slot and watched the video unfold as though upon computer games, where those who fall are taken out without the carnage of a war, without the bloodshed or the loss of life, without the terrible destruction to the land or to the air, or to the fragile beauty everywhere, almost as if it were without a consequence. A game of war so skillfully deployed and waged, of course, all for the West, where God could see our cause was just, and Bush, Major, all that lot, de Villiers and Schwartz and Kopf, can come and tell us on TV, our boys are strong, morale is high. They've seen Baghdad off in the skies, and now they'll send B-52s to blast Iraqi's armoured mass, and then the land troops will go in to blast them out and see them off. Such good fun. No one gets hurt. Well, just a few, well, soldiers might, but that's what they're paid to do. It won't last long, a week, no more. A massive blow to Saddam's jaw, and then he'll go. Tally-ho, we'll all be friends. No one's really hurt. Come on. Don't be like that. The West can tell you what to do. Then we'll start again. But now the awful truth begins to dawn as steadily we see statistics creeping in. The mosques blown up, the massive loss of life, The towns they've bombed, the factory where they made the powdered baby milk, blown flat. The hangar that they claim was just a military front, it's now a tomb, which holds the charred and burned remains of families sheltering from the terror in the skies. 500 died in there, their bodies dripping flesh. And Schwarzenkopf and all the allied louts, the perpetrators of this heinous crime, they now have access to the TV screens to justify this act so gross that even our pathetic media, with its cruel distortions of the facts, can neither change nor hide the callousness behind the jargon that they sprout. Collateral casualties is what they call it now. And then we learned Saddam Hussein has cut the oil lines in Kuwait and let them belch their filthy crude into the waters of the Gulf. The wells he's mined so deep inside that when they blow, they'll fill the air with smoke and filth so that the ozone layer will crack. The skies will generate such heat that war will pall beside the death that petulance and famine then will wreak. You mean to say you didn't know? Nor that he'd send the Scuds to Tel Aviv to draw the Arab nations in? And so on top of this, we had the terrifying risk of nuclear war? Come on. Surely we did not believe not 40,000 sorties on. No one got killed, got badly hurt. It was all good fun. A massive blow to Saddam's shin. What fun. Or did we really not accept that fires would rage and bodies rot, the cold would strike, gas and electric be cut off, people would starve and scream and bleed, go mad, die of disease? 40,000 sorties on Baghdad? Come on. We did. You know we did. It was all for oil. Come on, own up. You think we're thick? Don't kid us that you thought we should invade Kuwait to save democracy. There is none there. One vote, one shakes the way it is. And that's the way they'll keep it after all of this. And no, you can't convince us that Saddam Hussein's someone of whom you disapprove. If that was so, what happened when he gassed 5,000 Kurds in Halabja 2 years ago? Where were you then? And where were you when the war was at an end? And Saddam Hussein is once again involved in genocide against the folk of Kurdistan. Come on, how come you didn't arm the Kurds and help them rid the country of Hussein? That's what you said you wanted all along. Come on now, you can tell. Hussein's okay, is what you really think. Well, when it suits you to. For years during the war against Iran, the West was queuing up to fund Saddam, to help them overthrow a revolution that might well have brought the rights of working people to the fore. And while we're on the subject, well, how can you rain down so much violence on Iraq when Israel up the road a pace is just as guilty as Hussein? The West Bank and the Gaza Strip, taken by Israel in the Six-Day War from Palestine, it's just the same, isn't it? How come we couldn't make the linkage then? Oh, you boys who run this show, what makes you tick? Millions are dying on this earth for want of food and shelter. Not only do you sit it out and watch them rot, your bombs rain billions on Baghdad. Each one could buy a store of food, or stock a granary, plough a field, erect a dam, build a hospital or school, bring medicines to save a life. Create. No, you don't want that. Your game is war. Your purpose oil or gold or coal or any other thing that you can filch or steal or wring a profit from. The lives of innocents mean nothing in this scheme of things, and so amounts we cannot comprehend are spent on guns and bombs and tanks and planes, on rockets launched from silos and from submarines. Their deadly loads are poised to kill, destroy, to maim, and on a scale so vast we cannot even contemplate. Your game is hate, but what a profit it creates. And so you fund Saddam Hussein and sell him all the arms that he can take, create a new scenario for war so he can do your dirty work for you and stop the revolutions that keep breaking through, demanding peace, equal rights for everyone. No, that would never do. It stinks so much as 27 million people now prepare to die because of you.
Adam and Eve, they fell from grace. when they ate that forbidden fruit, they saw that there were starkers stood there in their birthday suits. So they took up a life of sin, left behind a state of bliss. And as Eve pinned on her fig leaf, she asked, "Does me bum look big in this?"
Heatwave by Rod Shaw. Still, vacant, the whirring of a fan. On the news, a hosepipe ban. 28, 29 to 30 degrees, longing for a gentle breeze. The forecast turns from amber to red, trying to sleep on a restless bed. Jobs to do, they stay on hold, watching climate change unfold. Is this the shape of things to come? Do global leaders blame the sun? Rays so bright it turns them blind to the faults that lie with humankind. Turning to write my heart on my sleeve, I return to what I really believe. There's hope for the future, the world and its weather, if we rise to the challenge and come together.
Curtains! Look there, behind the curtain. Something's there, of that I'm certain. I can see the drapes all wobbling, and the dangly bits all bubbling. And look, there's something sticking out. I can hardly make it out. By Jove, I think it is a boot belonging to some fiendish foot. I bet a burglar's gotten in, bent on a bit of burglaring. I bet he's waiting till I'm nodding, and then he'll come and bash me noggin, nick my silver and my china, stick 'em in his black bin liner. Get away, leave me for dead, with blood all spurting from my head. What shall I do? Attack the drape? He might be 6 foot fucking 8. Perhaps I'll draw the curtains back, say, "Come on in, my dear old chap, sit you down, have a beer. Leave your shotgun over here." Oh, sod it all. Here I go, through the curtain, tally-ho. My God, who took the window out? I'm 12 furlongs up and falling out, all tangled in this mighty drape. I look like Batman in his cape. I'm diving headlong upside down. I'll soon be splattered on the ground. I'm surely going for a Burton. It's curtains now for me, I'm certain. Unless, by some amazing chance, the gusset of my underpants gets caught and catches on the edge and throws me back onto the ledge. But no, it seems I am undone. I had not got no knickers on. One consolation there will be, no scorch marks to embarrass me. Oh God, please give me one more chance. Fling me down some underpants. But no, it seems I am undone. My earthly race is nearly run. In just a second you will see strawberry jam is what I'll be. So, as I take my final bow, grant me this, I beg you now, on my gravestone let there be no mention of stupidity, nice and quirky let it be. Perhaps you write these few words for me. He left this earth, we know for certain, still clinging to the final curtain.
This is called hypo. I wake in the night sweating like hell. The bed is steaming, my blood rushes screaming. I'm in trouble, my pulse is double. I'm having a hypo. I touch my temple, blood pounding there. I hear whistling, screaming in my ear. I'm bodily shaking as though in fear. I'm having a hypo. I need a drink. I need a pee. What the hell is inside of me? My brain's spinning. I turn psycho. I'm having a hypo. I grab for my test kit. Blood sugars have crashed. Only 2.7. I feel like I'm smashed. Why am I weeping? I get right in my head. Glucose by the bed. I grab it and chew. Wait and retest. Must make it through to survive the hypo. Plus 15 minutes, it's 4.2. I've come out of hypo. Just. Few. I'm no reciter, just a writer. And my name's PaTricia Marklew. This poem is about being a diabetic.
Oh, this is a poem called Squirrel. When I was a little boy, tiny little boy, 5 years old, I used to go to Hatfield, and my Uncle Perce there used to shoot the squirrels. They were seen as vermin, the grey squirrels. And this is an encounter with a squirrel, me and my dad, which went horribly wrong. Squirrel. The squirrel is a monster of delight. Of course, a ball of fur and almost nothing more. And yet it leaps and jumps and flies and jerks that tail and scurries round and up the boles of trees, flies from branch to branch and often tree to tree, then prances on the lawn in search of hidden food it's lost, always darting, checking, always moving. Unless disturbed, then it freezes on the spot. Such zest, such joie de vivre. It's as if it's driven by the light. The cutest thing you ever saw. Its feral, joyful heart, its shape, its cheekiness, its energy, it catches at the heart. And yet, I killed a squirrel deliberately. Well, an assist, I suppose. 5 years old and relegated to this planet, in the wood at Hatfield with my father and his 12-bore. Look, Dad, up there, I shouted. There, way up in the beach. He raised the gun and belched a murderous spread of shot. It hit the squirrel in the leg, and down it came, claws grabbing, crashing through the branches. It landed stunned upon the bole, where Daddy clubbed it with the butt end of his gun and brained it. We took it back to Uncle Perce, who chopped its tail off with a machete, flung its body to the dogs. A bob a tail we got at Luton Market. 50 years on, and my son Patrick found a squirrel, dying in the road, a hit and run, bleeding, screaming pain, crying for its kin. Young Patrick wrapped it in a wodge of leaves, whispering, caressing, loving, calming, brought it to the roadside and laid it gently down. Then he found a bottle in a bin. Crying, agonizing, he knew what must be done. So out of love and out of mercy, he brained it, freed it from its awful pain. The debt repaid.
Since the summer solstice is coming up, and as Ronald Hutton, Professor of History at the University of Bristol, put it, the summer solstice was seen as a time when the normal laws of nature or divinity could be suspended, when spirits and fairies could contact humans, and when humans could exceed the usual limitations of their world. And bearing that in mind, I selected the following picture, which is Pixies Dancing in a Ring by the Firelight by William Bell, and it hangs in a National Trust property somewhere in Lincolnshire, I believe. Right, and so I shall put it up as the background, and you can see the picture as I speak. Summer Solstice by Carolyn Page. Released from the underworld by the summer solstice, the pixies dance in the firelight, joyful, released from the many chores they undertake, unrecognised by the humans that inhabit the world above, their shadows making them appear as tall as men. No climbing the dresses tonight to talk with the spiders to get them to spin dainty webs tied to bridges. No tarnishing the copper pots hanging on their hooks. No sweeping the boulders of dust from under the tables. No curdling the cat's milk, as they drink unseen by prowling eyes. For tonight is party night. Agile, leaping from toe to toe as they prance around the merry circles, watched by their wiser elders, keeping in time to the rhythm of the band. Band, banging kettle drum, tin plates with silver salt spoons, scraping hat pins over combs, plucking hairs stretched from twig to acorn cup. Faster and faster they play, warmed by their exercise by the fire, and the dancing spring splits. The line disappears to a cooler corner, replaced by fresh imps gyrating in swirling whirlwinds of dust. The black cat, returning from his nightly patrol in the churchyard, already spooked by unusual sounds of rattling bones, is attracted by the comforting warmth of the fire. But he cannot approach for the barrier of human-like shadows that have no substance when he pounces on them. Back arched, he backs away to prowl elsewhere, his hackles rising in response to frustration, fright, and fight. Good night.
Well, this is a sort of bit of a send-up of sonnets and villanaises and haikus and all the rest of it, really, with restrictions and rules. So it's called Your Actual Sonnet. Your actual sonnet, fuck it, is like a bonnet, isn't it? It has an actual shape, like, doesn't it? It's like a trilby or a bowler. But it ain't neither, is it? It's a fucking bonnet. And like the bonnet, your actual sonnet has a shape what has been thrust upon it. And you can't fuck about with it neither. Or it ain't a fucking sonnet. Got it?